Welcome everyone to These Days. It's your girl Ashley, and today I have two very special guests. Two men who I admire, and I feel like they are pillars of our community. We have Mr. Rod Harper, who is former NFL and also owner of Champion Air, and on my right side I have Mr. Dante Lambo, who's a personal trainer and just up and coming in our community, father of three, and so much more. So today we're going to sit here and instead of having my point of view and my perspective being the woman that I am, we're going to have an engaging conversation with two men on their perspective of really what's going on these days. It's so much that we can focus in on, but my very first question to these two gentlemen will be, like, how would you guys define like the role of a man these days? So many things have changed, just as far as like the roles that men play, masculinity, vulnerability. Like, how would you define like being a man?
I'm gonna let you lead on this one.
How would I define being a man, or
Like, what? How do you think? Put it this way: how do you think society define men these days? In your definition as well.
yeah? Well, I think society, for the most part, has a traditional role for men to play. They're supposed to be the protectors, the providers. They're mainly the protectors and providers, and not as much the leaders,
Mm.
and um, and not as much the rulers now. So I think in times past, men protected, they provide, they led, they ruled, they had dominion in their homes, dominion in the earth, dominion obviously over their wives, their children. They had more authority. But now men have the same responsibility of protection and provision without the authority given them. So that's the biggest difference that we're seeing now. So you have responsibility without authority, and that can be really tricky. So
Okay.
I like that answer, and I gotta agree with that. I haven't always cared much about how the world see us or how society sees us or treat us as men, but I see it is a big topic of conversation. You know, you got toxic masculinity and all these different, key words people like to throw out on social media to have, conversation. But I do agree a lot with what he's saying as far as, we having the expectation of providing and protecting, but that's it. That's all they want us for.
Right.
I agree with that.
And so, why do you think that's changed? Why do you think there's no more authority? Why do you think there's no more dominion, the leadership? What do you think caused that shift?
yeah, I think it's a lot of reasons, but ultimately it's feminism.
Mm.
So feminism, I believe, rose up obviously through demons and the devil and Satan. But we also got to be honest that feminism rose up.
I'm sorry, bro. Listen, speak your truth. I'm just listening. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Listen. I'm sorry, bro.
Okay, we're going. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know you was gonna go there, but go ahead. Do your
Oh yeah,
thing.
absolutely. So that, and then also, if we're honest, it also has risen up due to men's misconduct.
Correct.
So over the long period of time, so in the very beginning, God set man over woman, giving her authority, so on and so forth. So women from the very beginning wanted to rebel against that. Our nature is to rebel, no matter what you are, children to parents, citizen against the police. We're going to rebel. But you throw on top of it that men have messed up. We've beaten them, we've raped them, we've uh, built a fortune with them to turn 50 and then leave them for a 20-year-old.
Right.
You see what I mean? So all of this has happened, and now women are saying, "We're tired of this. We're not gonna accept this anymore." So there just began that push for women to be free and independent, and now they're pushing for equality, but they never forget who the strong one is,
Right.
who's the one that they ultimately need, because they always have to appeal to male authority for everything they want,
Mm.
no matter what. They can never get away from that because men have a monopoly on force. So and strength and all that stuff. Nonetheless, though, that's why men have the responsibility.
Right.
But you can't control me.
Right.
I want your money, but if you use the money for me, oh, but you can't tell me what to do. I'm independent.
Right.
So that's why we see that divide. So,
but with everything that you said, just as far as like the misbehavior, the misconduct, I mean, do you feel like it's rightfully so that women feel that way? Because at the same time, conduct, behavior can change, and there can be a change.
I can see why women feel that way because think about it, in the black community, we see studies as high as what 75, 80% of households no father.
Right.
I grew up in Mixon over here in Bradenton, and out of that whole neighborhood of kids, one or two daddies.
Right.
Black daddies have been horrendous.
Right.
Black daddies suck. I mean, it's just what it is. You know what I mean? So it's not every black daddy.
Yeah.
But it's most of our experience.
Right.
So I can see why women, especially in our community, be like, I'm tired of this.
So you don't think in other communities, in Caucasian,
not nearly
Asian,
remotely close, not that the statistics are blatantly obvious.
Now, do you think that those other cultures treat black women better, or do you just think because of their experience that they get a different response?
Wait, what do you mean? In the other cultures, they treat black women. What do you mean?
Because if it's
you mean treat their women better?
Even black women, because black women are kind of crossing over to other cultures as well. And so when I say that, if you're going off of the experience that black men, that you're saying black men have given us,
well, let me ask this: Did you have your dad growing up?
No.
See, I had my dad growing up, so I got a whole different view. And I'm not even going to blame it on feminism as far as why society is today. I'm going to take accountability and say it's us men. I'm agree with what you said about most of us being raised by single mothers, right? And I think a lot of men these days are very argumentative, like the women. And women tired of that. They like, yo, I argue with my girlfriend. I don't want to argue with you. Like right. A lot of dudes where they say sassy, I don't really like that word, but a lot of dudes like to argue and they very emotional.
Right.
Because they was raised by a single mom. So they adapt all those emotions, and as they get older in relationships, they don't know how to express themselves.
Right.
And so a lot of men rather leave than fix things. And I've been a victim of that. Like, I don't like to argue, but if you want to argue all the time, I'd rather just leave and not deal with it. And that's not always the right thing to do.
Right.
But I think it is a men thing that we need to hold ourselves accountable for the way we behave and conduct ourselves in relationships. But a lot of it stems from we take a lot of emotions from our mothers instead of our fathers. But I was somebody that was raised with his father. So
and so like with that being said, at some point you don't think that could have been regulated? Like just as far as you know what I mean? Because if you're saying that is argumentative, just going off of what you said, at some point you have to have some type, I would think, of your intellectual IQ, just emotionally, like
no, for sure,
to understand. Like every time we get in an argument, she responds a certain way, or every time I yell, my kids do X, Y, and Z, and in return, I feel, I don't know, men can't feel when respect is being lost.
Absolutely, that's why we leave, because we about respect. Like, and respect is sometimes like letting me say what I need to say and try to be understanding versus always, oh, what about me? What about my feelings? What about my feelings? Because then we have to cater to what you want now instead of being able to express how we feel about things. And that's what being what it is, and get you try to understand that. And now we fighting against each other about, oh, well, what about me? Or what about me? And then that's where the divide comes in, because nobody feels heard or respected. Especially as a man, we about respect first. So if the respect ain't there, we don't see a reason to be there.
But at some point, and I'm asking both of you, if you have ran into that, at some point, wouldn't that be the time for the man to take the lead and then create balance, create understanding?
It's hard to lead somebody that don't want to be led. It's hard to, and this is why I agree with the whole authority thing. Like, not saying do what I say when I say.
Correct.
I say do what I say when I say, but keep going. I like what you're saying too, though.
But it's like, yo, at a certain point, if I'm the leader, right? I used to ask girls, like, okay, you don't want to listen to what I say, but if we was out somewhere and somebody brandish a gun, you gonna expect me to jump in front of that gun.
Right.
So you expect me to put my life on the line for you, but you won't do something that I asked for that's very minor. So it's like the whole, again, it ain't do what I say when I say, but you got to look at the balance of, I'm willing to die for you. And you ain't even my wife. You just my girlfriend.
Right.
You expect me to jump in front of a bullet for you, protect you, do all this, but you can't even follow, the plan I have for our family or for our kids, or,
But if that's the case, then it kind of goes back, and I use this analogy a lot. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? Because should you be putting your life on the line for somebody who's not your wife?
You got to. That's in our nature. That's in our nature.
Do you
It
agree?
ain't no.
I can understand like protecting all women and children type thing,
I agree.
but
Yeah, if you my girl, it's yo, I'm gonna do that. It ain't even a thought. It ain't a second thought for me. I'm gonna do that.
and so like because I feel like do what I say is very vague.
Right.
Like,
no,
what-
that's
like that.
that's
You know,
that's I ain't one of them.
but I'm just saying like do what I ask. I feel like that's very vague because to me personally, I don't think women have a problem with doing what you ask. I think there comes a point to where the bar seems quite high or the expectation seems high, and then that's where the miscommunication comes in. It's kind of like you don't see me for everything that I do, but yet you're adding another task or adding another thing, and I guess it might sound funny, but I'm not getting flowers, I'm not getting a thank you, I'm not getting whatever the reason may be, and yet I'm just supposed to be like da, 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 hear all this stuff, and I don't even feel like you see me, or at least that's how I feel like most women feel, and that's where that miscommunication comes in.
No, for sure. That's why I say it's like, well, what about me and how I feel, and what about me? You know what I'm saying? It's that back and forth, and we're fighting to be heard.
Right.
And it's like, I hear you, but do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, do you get? Because I feel like me as a man, like I'm looking down 10, 20 years down in the future, right?
Right.
So I'm trying to align things and have you follow a lead that's going to make us successful in the future. I think women more look at day to day, what's going on. And again, because of that vision that we supposed to provide, provision that men supposed to provide, a lot of women can't see the end goal.
Right.
They want the trips now. They want the flowers every week.
Right.
They want the this right now, validate my feelings, make me feel like all these other girls on social media are happy with their man and they want this, and oh, her man do this for her. Right. Her man do that for her. They want all that right now, but as a man, we look 5, 10, 20 years down the line.
So I'm just going back to the leader thing. Because in my head, this is just me. I'm not speaking for all you women. I'm just speaking from.
Nah, but you got to speak for all women.
Well, I can't speak for everybody.
But you asking us questions about men and how men are in society. So you asking us to speak for all men. Right. So you got to do the same.
And that's why I have two of you to give two different perspectives. But but what I want to say is like, for one, when it comes to leadership, I think a part of leadership is understanding. And with the understanding comes like, if you just like, let's just say football. At the beginning of sport, sometimes you already know what the season's supposed to look like. You already know like you in for the long haul. Within that time, you're gonna come across opposition, you're gonna have some bad days, this, that, and the third. It don't stop you from showing up to the next game.
It don't, but you know what's different about football is on day one of practice, you all gotta mentally buy into the program. You gotta say, you gonna do your job, I'm gonna do mine. We're gonna hold each other accountable. So when So when stuff do get rocky, you know I got you.
But what makes you think when two people come together, what you should be locked in?
Because again, in football, you know the championship coming if you work hard enough to get to it. But you know it's far down the line. Like I said, we think way into the future. Yeah, but you got to make it to playoffs. Then you got different levels of playoffs. Then you got the championship game.
But I'm applying that same aspect to. I'm applying it to a relationship just because I think I know God.
Yeah, but the relationship, the championship ain't in a year.
No, but
relationship, the championship is married in 20, 30, 40, 50 years of it.
And I
but can you foresee that end goal and commit day one to, okay, you the leader of this team, just like your coach, right? You respect your coach, he the leader of the team, you're going to do what he say from day one.
If I'm on the team, I'm expecting to win, I'm expecting to reign, and I'm expecting to be legendary.
But what are you doing? What are you doing to help see that through, though?
What do you mean? I'm doing my part. I'm coming to practice. I'm playing. I'm listening to the coach. I'm studying the plays. I'm doing all those
so you being agreeable.
And so, no.
So you following the leader.
But I don't believe anything. I don't believe anyone goes into any agreement, even if that's a girlfriend or this, that, and other. I think at some point reality sets in and you're just like, yeah, I got my eye on you. Once that kind of locks in, you kind of already have whatever fantasy or thoughts of where you expect that to go. And then somewhere along the line, that's when the miscommunication kind of comes in. I don't think any woman gets into anything with any guy and just like, oh yeah, I'm just ready to act up. Like just as soon as he
No.
doesn't.
But you ignore a million red flags if you like him enough, if you're cute enough, if you got enough money, if you carry himself a certain way, you ignore red flags.
But I mean that goes both ways.
But okay, let me say this. Because as women, right, y'all end goal is marriage for y'all, right? But y'all gotta be wait until a man proposes to y'all. A man, our job is to propose to the woman, so it's a lot different from our perspective of what a relationship is going to be, because it ain't always, because a lot of girls, they whole dream, their whole life is to get married, have this big old wedding and all that. Men don't think like that. We think about legacy.
So tell me, how do men think when it comes to, for one, I'm still gonna bring it back to like what the role in society should be. Like what does that look like, and then what should it be in the household, and what, like, just as far as like what does that look like, and what does a relationship look like? I guess nowadays.
He brought something up that I thought was interesting. He talked about the coach. At the very beginning, you buy in, you lock in.
Yes.
In relationships, there is no buying in and lock in. And the one thing he pointed to is his mind. It's the mentality.
Right.
So when the Bible talks about all these things, it's talking about repentance. What is repentance? Changing your mind.
Correct.
I used to believe this, now I believe that.
Right.
So I'm changing from how I used to view things to what God's plan is and getting into line with that.
Right.
So when you go into these relationships, if she says, well, we're 50-50, we're equal partners, it's a disaster waiting to happen because there can't be two chiefs.
So who say 50-50?
Well, that's the general. That's feminism. The definition of feminism,
right,
okay, is the fair treatment of both sexes based on the equality of the sexes. You see what I mean? So it's presenting as equality off the very beginning.
Yeah.
So man cannot be the leader. So. That's the belief system.
Right.
Off the beginning. Well, you can't tell me what to do.
Right.
I had a lady never mind.
Let's talk about it.
I had a lady tell me the other day, like talking about dating and stuff. Well, a man's not going to tell me what I can and can't wear, even if the Bible says so.
Right.
So the mentality there is, I rule myself.
Right.
I don't care what the Bible says. I don't care what God says. Until there's a realigning with God's word, it's going to be a disaster. It's always going to be butting of heads. You're not going to lock in. You're not going to be able to get to the championship. If we lock in onto what the coach's vision is.
Right.
He said it from the very beginning. I have all of the authority, then the coordinators, then the position coaches, and all the players are subordinate to us. And you're working as a team to get there. When that's not in these relationships, it's an absolute disaster. So everybody's doing whatever they see fit, whatever role they want to do. So that's why we have a mess that we have. And divorce rates are skyrocketing, premarital sex skyrocketing, only 2 to 3% of brides marry as virgins. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. It's a departing from what God has told us to do.
And I mean,
that's it.
And nowadays, just kind of piggybacking off what you said, with everything that you said, like, do you think that there will be a shift? Do you think there's a change? Because me personally, after hearing all that things, disaster. It makes me feel as if like there's no hope. And once again, and I'm not saying like, okay, well, you have the answer, because if I had to say what I feel your answer would be, the answer would be, okay, let's go by the Bible. If we go by the Bible, there shouldn't be all this confusion, like from the beginning to the end, because this is how it's laid out. But since, as we know, everyone doesn't go by the Bible.
Oh, we know.
Well, I'm just saying. You're just saying that point blank period. If it's not what we're going by, disaster.
Absolutely. Well, there's always hope for the individual. I don't care where, on whatever topic. I don't care if you're a crack addict. I don't care what you've been. There's always hope. Is there hope for a whole entire generation or culture to flip and turn back to God? I think it's zero, because it's going to continue to get worse. Mm-hmm. But there is something what we call revivals, where this culture is just flying off the ledge, and then there's these shifts where God brings it back. He does a massive move where you restabilizing, that home and all that type of stuff. So it would take, again, we got to some of this stuff because, like I said at the beginning, the devil, right. But then also men's mistakes, men's mishaps. So it would take it would take a lot of retraining and women rebuilding their trust.
Got you.
She'd have to see enough men being good men, good fathers, so she can actually take that leap of faith, because that's what it is, a leap of faith.
Yeah.
You know, to obey and submit and trust, that's faith.
Right.
I believe that there are enough good men out there for me to build my life waiting for this type of man to come along to take care of me. If you've never seen it, it's like, I gotta go get it myself.
Gotta do it myself.
So that's it. That's what I think.
Okay, now before we turned on the camera, we had a little get to know each other. Now, I know where he stands, but you said you're more spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So your hopefulness, I'm not gonna say would look different, but I'm guessing it would look different because your standards would be different. So what would that look like for you, just as far as?
Not necessarily. I do agree. Like, I'm not a by the Bible type person, but I do believe that there has to be a standard that you both agree with. Like, it don't got to be by the Bible, but if it's something you believe and I believe, it can work. So it just got to be a conversation up front about expectations of each other's first.
Right.
And let me put this out here. I'm not a relationship guru. I've had one good relationship in my adult life. So I ain't here to say, hey, women should do this, men should do that. I'm here to have an open conversation about my experiences.
Yeah.
But I ain't trying to tell nobody what to do in their relationship. Do what work for you. If 50-50 work for you, if 100% work for you, if by the Bible work for you, do that. But find somebody who aligns with your beliefs first, and then everything else build around that.
Okay. Now, we've been talking about relationships. We kind of got on relationships with, I appreciate what y'all have to say. But what has always, I don't know, I always kind of ask the question, especially when it comes to society, women, respect, all this stuff. Like, do other men hold other men, like, accountable? Like, do you see that happening? Only because,
as far as relationships,
when you say relationship, I mean any relationship. I mean just like as far as like with how they treat their women, their role in the community, with raising their children, even if it's just, hey, brother, I see you out here doing X, Y, and Z. Like, are other men like, hey, let me get you on the right path, or we just letting each other run rampant?
Again, it's hard to lead somebody who don't want to be led, and that goes for men also. And I'm more of I don't tell people what to do. I just do what I do and hope it influences you. And if that's enough, cool. But I'm not the type to sit you down and be like, you need to do this, you need to do that. Because nobody really want to hear about what they're doing wrong in their life.
Yeah, but it's
a lot of times that'll ruin relationships. I've lost a lot of friends due to holding them accountable.
Right.
And so now I'd rather just be like, I'd rather only be friends with people who have my same values.
Right.
Like, I don't hang with dudes who don't take care of their kids. I don't hang with dudes who are like, oh, I'm slime this or I'm shiesty that. Like, I don't hang around those type of dudes. I don't hang around type of dudes that talk a certain way and disrespectful to women and their mothers and stuff. Like, I don't hang around those type of dudes.
But if there's a whole, let's say 60%, 70%, like you said, of women and adults who have not been exposed to good men.
You gotta lead by example.
My point exactly. But from my understanding, I would think I've already been told by good ride here, a man is the leader. So another man probably not gonna listen to me when I'm just like trying to say, hey, you should probably do better in this area, da 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 da, X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. In my head, I might be like, but Rod, I know you're good in da da da. You might need to go talk to Brother Dante, because I see this Brother Dante, he tripping, he might be going through something. And I just don't see that.
Yeah. No, I'm always open to counsel, especially with men. I always find it that we don't even have safe spaces to talk about what we go through and deal with, especially mentally as men, where it's just men talking and being vulnerable with each other. Because a lot of us can't go to our women to be vulnerable, because a lot of times, and I know this is cliche, we always say this, but it get thrown in our face. But it's true. And so I think we do need a counsel. You know what I'm saying? And my pops, before he left, he was my therapist. Right? Whatever I'm dealing with, I can go to him, but he was also imperfect. So a lot of things he would tell me and try to guide me on, I just couldn't align with, because I'm like, nah, that ain't me. I appreciate the advice, but I don't think that'll work for me. But there wasn't other men I can go to. It was just my pop. So I only had a one-sided perspective. And so if I didn't get the answer I was looking for him, I was just kind of left to deal with it. And so I think a lot of us face that. And I was, blessed to have a father. Most, like he said, most of us don't. And so when you don't have a father, you ain't got no counsel of men to show you what a real man is and how a real man conduct himself in society and the home and all that. And like I said, I was blessed with a father, but he also had his own issues himself. But I still honor him as my father, as the leader of our family, and whatever he say, I'm rocking with. But I ain't got to follow through with it. But I'm gonna be respectful and listen.
Okay.
And so a lot of us don't have that though.
All right, Mr. Harper. So how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, I think I hold men accountable, 100%. I'm gonna
Okay.
hold. Yeah. I think there's a couple ways you can hold them accountable. I think it's being vocal publicly.
Right.
Like I feel like a man should work and pay the bills. I'm very vocal about that. I have been since I was a teenager, and also I think just when you talk about accountable, that's really proximity. I can't like let's say you got a pastor of this big church. I don't know him. I can't hold him accountable.
Right.
You see what I mean? But I can be vocal about this is right, this is wrong, so on and so forth. But like if my homies are doing something wrong, I'm gonna call them out.
Right.
They've called me out. Ain't nobody nice in my group.
Right.
Nobody's nice. And I'm talking this is going back since high school. Same people. I had a friend smoking weed. I said, y'all need to stop. Like, what are we doing? You know, even business practices, you know what I mean? Make sure you're tight on your business practices. Whatever it may be. They hold me accountable. I hold them accountable. And not even just men. Sometimes the women need to do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, if I see a person around me that's doing something, you cheating on your wife, I'm gonna tell you. Like it's anyways, yeah, I'm gonna let you know like 100%. Because that's what we're supposed to do in love. You know, in love. It don't gotta be judgment, but you need to tell a person like when they're wrong, it's like, bro, listen, I love you, bro, you gotta stop doing that.
Right.
It's just, you know what I mean? 100%. Like you got to stop.
Yeah, no.
I've had conversations with people before, like where we've seen certain things and you know around that we know is like, listen, if this continues, we're gonna have to, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I think it does happen. It does.
So it happens. Do you think it happens enough though?
I don't think it. That's why I don't think it happens enough because a lot of people don't have the same belief systems. You see what I mean? They don't have. I'm gonna give you an example. I got a guy that I know. I love him. And I'm a Christian, and we're Christians together, and went to church together, and we started having conversations about like premarital sex and blah blah blah. Then he started thinking like premarital sex wasn't a sin. I had to stop hanging out with him.
Right.
I said, you did wrong. So if you're around me, you supposed to be a Christian. You blowing backs out. I'm gonna call you out. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what are we talking about here?
Right.
Now, if you're not a believer, what I want to say to you? Like,
right.
You're not a Christian.
Right.
I can share the gospel with you.
Right.
So when you're talking about accountability, it first has to start about it goes back to repentance and what are we basing it off of, and so on and so forth. You know, I mean, I think even him, like, if you saw a man, one of your homies punching a woman, you gonna say something.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a question.
I
got a question. So with you being a hardcore Christian, right, and you calling people out and you start.
Hey, no, for real. I ain't mean with it. I'm real humble.
Cool. Yeah, but I'm saying you cut your boy off because he had a difference of opinion, right?
Yes.
Do you think that drives people away from being a quote unquote Christian?
No, I'll tell you why. This is the difference. I've never judged a man for their struggle. Mm. You understand? Where you fall, get back up and go in. Let's fight. There's no judgment for the struggle because the Bible says there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, right? But once you've changed your mind, you no longer believe selling dope, rape, child molestation, murder. You no longer believe that that's wrong. You think it's okay. The Bible says,
yeah, but that's extreme. We just talking about premarital
that's extreme.
Sex. It's not.
It's well in the Christian faith is worthy of hell.
But all sins are equal, right?
No, they're not.
How not?
The Bible doesn't say all sins are equal. Jesus says the one who handed me over to you was guilty of a greater sin. The Bible doesn't teach that. I'm gonna tell you where that comes from. Just so you have an example, this is where that comes from. Weak pastors who are afraid to reject people and for them to feel judged. I know how to share the gospel with a person where they don't feel like they can feel convicted, but they don't feel like I'm higher than them. I'm gonna show you one of the ways you use it. Use it by your testimony. You see what I mean? I'm not saying I'm better than you, because you might say, I came out of this, and other. And God called me out of it. He's called you out of it too. You see what I mean? But a lot of weak pastors use it because they're afraid to be rejected by people instead of just standing on what the Bible says. Jesus didn't come to people and say, well, I mean, all sins are equal, so just, I mean, we all fall short of glory. That's not what he said. He said, repent or perish. You know what I mean? He said, repent of your sins. Turn away.
Give me an example of like a sin you've done, right, in your past, and you were delivered.
Rod,
Don't
you
do that.
sin?
Don't do that. No, seriously.
I wouldn't even say it on camera.
That you feel that you've been delivered from, right? You changed your ways. How would you communicate that with someone who's still sinning to convert them over to being a Christian?
So you're saying that something I got free from, but then now I want to convert somebody else over.
Yeah, how would you communicate it with them so it ain't like you're judging them, you just giving them your testimony, like you said, to help them with whatever they dealing with.
I can come up to them and say something like,
but we have to have the name of the sin first.
oh no, I wouldn't even come over. I wouldn't even come.
Why not?
No.
You free.
Hold on.
No.
So you don't want to be judged?
It's not about I don't want to be judged.
Then what is
you
No.
Bro, you gotta keep it real now. You gotta keep it real.
It's not about keeping it real.
Don't try to sit up here like you holier than without.
I'm not trying to keep like I'm holier than that.
Okay, well, name a sin you.
Nobody would do that. Nobody would do that.
Why?
Would they be free from?
You're asking me.
No, I'm asking you.
He
No.
was
I ain't
asking
asking you nothing.
No. You asked me something completely different than what she asked.
No.
I was about to give you an answer. Then she started talking about, well, we got to know the name of the sin. No,
well, because he said.
Yeah, it started with me.
He said, what sin has it that you?
And then I said, oh yeah, I wouldn't say that. And then he said, well, tell me how you would go about sin.
So you.
And then you came out, oh, you got to tell me what the sin is and all this.
You can't say what you sinned about.
I wouldn't do it.
Why?
But this is the reason
Hold on,
why.
Ashley, hold on.
He feels that this might come.
Hold on, Ashley, because you let him run away from it.
I'm not running away from nothing.
Hold on, but why not?
I wouldn't say that what I do publicly in a space.
But this can help deliver somebody, because this is the thing about religion and Christians, right?
Okay.
Y'all pretend y'all perfect.
That's not true.
And then when we want to hear something that we can relate to, I ain't got enough for you to relate to. I'm only on this side now.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to see what you was like when you was on this side. Give me that experience. So I can be like, dang, I've done that too. So dang, maybe I don't feel so bad because I know what it's like to go from this side to the other side.
Absolutely.
Because I'm still on this side. I'm still sinning.
Absolutely.
Right? So you got to be relatable.
Understandable.
So help me relate to you.
Whoa. We don't have to be relatable.
Yeah, we do.
Not really. You want to know why? Because it's God's gospel, not my gospel.
But you preaching it, right?
Yeah, I'm preaching the gospel.
Okay, so be relatable.
Yeah, absolutely. No, hold on. I don't have to be relatable. We're forced to preach the gospel. You see what I mean? So we're preaching God's gospel.
How do you have a favorite artist? How do you have a favorite teacher? How do you have best friends?
Yes.
These all people you relate to. How do you have a favorite pastor? How do you have a favorite verse in the Bible?
Yeah,
everything is because you relate to it.
No, not really.
Bro,
my favorite pastor.
We ain't gonna cap there, man.
I'm not capping. If I got a favorite artist, but
you see what we dealing with?
What are we dealing with?
Bro, I just want you to be a little relatable. That's it.
Okay, here it is.
And I want you to keep it 100. I don't need the whole.
I understand.
Oh, give me all these Bible quotes, but you scared to talk about a sin. Like, come on. Mm-hmm. Like, give me something. No. It ain't got to be nothing crazy.
It don't have to be anything crazy. But absolutely. I do think what he is asking for, okay, if we are lay people or we're all sinners, sometimes what helps a sinner see what it is that you're talking about or help believe what you're saying to persuade them would be if you could give them something to relate to. Because if I'm sitting here and I'm reading the Bible or whatever, I'm just thinking, sometimes it just seems like it's just words in a book. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I want someone who used to get drunk. So tell me, what did you do? What scripture was that? So I can know, like, hey, to help me through that. Absolutely. That's what he's asking for.
I understand exactly what he's saying.
He
knows.
I know exactly what he's saying. He knows.
I knew what he was saying.
And then he's not even asking for something detrimental.
Yeah, I ain't asking for a deep, dark secret.
It could be gluttony.
Why? What are we talking about?
I'm just giving an example. It could be something
keep it PG.
It doesn't have to be anything crazy.
And this for the audience. This ain't for me. I ain't trying to be delivered tonight.
I understand.
Not,
Why
he
you
said
ain't trying
not
to be relatable?
tonight.
You asking?
Man, listen,
Yeah.
I just be relatable. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Oh,
I'm not going there. I'm not
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Well,
not
we're not
how
okay with
we
that. We do have to respect if that's
I
how.
respect it, but I just ask why.
Yes.
And you won't answer that.
Yeah, it's just not. Put it like this. I've been transparent with people before in sharing the gospel. I've been transparent. I remember one time I was transparent with some students of mine. They were old students of mine. And it just turned into something that was just like, that I regretted.
Why?
You see what I mean? Because it wasn't taken. It wasn't productive.
Yeah,
It wasn't taken. It wasn't taken. How would I say it? It was not taken. It was taken more as mockery than actually. I'm actually serious about this. So, man, I think about it sometimes. Dang, every now and then, maybe once a year or something, it might come to mind. It just wasn't. It wasn't productive. Now you got to know who you're dealing with, who you're sharing with, what you're sharing, and if it's something that can actually bear fruit. You understand what I'm saying? But so yeah, that's I wouldn't say something like that specifically. Now, some people, if I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna share my testimony, I'm gonna have specific things that are prepared. This is what it is. This is what it was. Because I know that it's gonna be fruitful. You understand what I'm saying?
But it is fruitful.
I understand that
because this is the thing.
Yeah,
Like
it
even
is
though
fruitful for
even
some
though
people.
you're a Christian, I'm not a hardcore
Yes,
Christian.
sir.
I feel like you a cool motherfucker. Like right, and I feel like we can vibe. But I also don't want it to always be I'm on this side and you on this side and there's no middle. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. Yeah.
So like I'm just trying to get a little something out of you because
He's
I
trying to
obviously
get to know you.
yeah, no, for real. In a real way though. Not on some
I understand. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because I respect what you say and how you feel and your beliefs
100%.
and everything, but I also want to see what you was like before you got on this side.
Absolutely.
Because there's a million and one sins. It ain't gotta be something crazy, rated R stuff. Just keep it PG.
Yeah.
Like you obviously kissed a girl before marriage. You obviously
I've kissed a girl.
lied. You've obviously stole.
I've stole.
Okay, so come on. You can admit to doing a sin, but you can't give me a story.
But it's just
You don't feel comfortable.
Okay, I respect it. I respect it.
I
respect it, bro. I respect it. You gotta end yourself on. I respect it.
We sit down. If we sit down, we're sitting down like, oh, I'm talking. That's one thing. You're talking about these. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what we here for.
Well,
Kinda.
we could be. Maybe we'll table it and we'll come back. So we're gonna go to. I think another conversation that they kind of dabbed into before we turned on the cameras as well. And we're going to kind of, I guess, get it light a little bit. But I just want to know in today's days, like, what do men consider a desirable woman?
Go ahead, Rod.
Well, me, I mean, I like my women hot and holy.
Hot and holy. I like
That's it. I like them hot and holy.
That's not a little sinful, but we gonna let it ride.
I mean, listen. Well, and I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because God is the one who created sex. The Bible talking about in Song of Songs, may her breast satisfy you always. Rejoice in the wife of your youth. You understand what I'm saying? He talk about those beautiful teeth and that beautiful hair and that small waist and all. He did that. The Bible talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna demonize beauty.
Oh, you good.
What are we talking about here?
What do men today?
Keep it going.
Besides that, though, here's the thing: we all like beauty. Right. Women like muscles, right? They like a handsome face. Men like a beautiful woman, beautiful eyes, beautiful hair, beautiful skin, beautiful shape, beautiful figure, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. Now the other side for me, as a believer, I like a meek, gentle, quiet, submissive, obedient woman who honors her man, who will obey him.
Well, you've been that Kevin Samuels playbook. What?
But here's the thing.
Hey, listen, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. So I'm with you.
Like for me, I've never been attracted to like a career woman, like a boss babe. Like they walk in the door and I'm like, ugh, like what are we doing here? You talk too much. You ready to run your mouth and you just an argument waiting to happen. Like,
so you mean that men aren't intimidated by a successful?
No, like what?
Let
I
them
just
have
feel
it,
like you're
Ashley.
an
Let them have
argument.
it.
You're an argument waiting to happen. In my personal opinion.
Right.
But I mean, here's the thing: when ladies gain all of the things that it takes to be successful in this world, takes a like confidence and dominance, and it's a very a very aggressive to go get it, to go make sales, to go do business. All these things very masculine traits. So they begin to develop this stuff on them. It's a spiritual thing, not necessarily a demon, but it's a spiritual or mental temperament that causes them and they wear it and they don't know they're wearing it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that all of them are horrible. I have family members like that. They're still cool, but it's like it's a strong spirit about them, and it's the opposite of someone that's meek, gentle, quiet.
Yeah, I've been called brash, and I was like, ooh.
Nah, I don't really see you that way. But
me neither. But it was just someone's opinion.
I like that. What do you call it? A holy hottie?
Oh, hot and holy.
Hot and holy.
Yes.
Okay, so I desire a boring baddie.
Ooh.
Okay. A woman.
Born a baddie.
No,
boring.
Oh, a boring baddie.
Yeah,
I thought you said boring baddie. Like she don't got no extra injections and here and there. And the lips.
Oh yeah,
natural.
Okay. Yeah,
okay,
the natural come with that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind enhancements, but I prefer not to have any enhancements. Because like we was talking about earlier, like I want to see what you look like when you wake up. I don't want to go to sleep with one woman, wake up with another one. You know what I'm saying? Like with all the done up and everything, and then you wake up and I'm like, damn, who is it? You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I like a boring baddie because I'm boring, right? But I'm disciplined. You know what I'm saying? I eat a certain type of diet. I work out. You know what I'm saying? Father, all that stuff, which is boring to a lot of women, but that's what I desire. Someone who match what I do not match everything because that's when that whole masculine get into them. But as far as being fit, just being disciplined, having discernment, nurturing, carefree, loving, sophisticated, feminine, of course. Like those type of qualities is what I prefer in a woman. But
so how do you feel about, because he not really going for the independent woman.
I mean, I've had my struggles with that and again, it's because I had to look withinward on that one.
Right.
Because it wasn't. My thing is, and that's why I'm single now. Because if I can't afford to court you the way I want to and the way you want to be, I'd rather not deal with you.
Right.
And so it's kind of like date within your tax bracket, or however you want to say it.
Right.
But I also feel that a lot of women want these things because they see other women on social media have it.
Right.
And I believe that we're not even supposed to have access to that many people like that on a daily basis to see their lives, because now your confidence ain't what it used to be. Now you have an anxiety, and now you ain't even showing up the same because now you're comparing your life to another woman's life.
Right.
And she dating somebody who ain't like me.
Correct.
And so it's like I want you to be real with yourself. Is this really what you want for you, or are you just doing it to show other women, oh, look what I got. Look what my man do for me. Look what you know what I'm saying? Like, is that really who you are? Or you? Because I ain't.
They just doing it for.
Yeah, doing it for the gram.
Yeah,
like I ain't really into, materialistic stuff. Like anybody know I'm super basic. If you know me, I wear the same 5 outfits every week.
Right.
Same shoes, do the same thing, eat the same meals, go to the same places all week, every week, all year.
Now, coming from both of y'all, like, do you feel like most men are like that? Or
I'm very routine. I don't know if most men, but I'm very routine because that helps me stay disciplined.
But I mean, like, what they're looking for, like, with the woman, because nothing, what either you just described sounds outlandish. It sounds, meek. So how would you describe today's women?
I'll take this one. Listen,
everybody attack me. I want to say something.
I'm not trying to bring, but you gave me what you desire, so I want to know, like, what is it that you're seeing being broadcasted? Like, what's out here?
Look at me. I feel like a lot of women these days, they only want nice things to shit on other women and say you ain't got this. Right. It ain't even about you being happy with what you got. It's just to show other women you ain't got this.
Right.
And I'm super, again, like I'm cheap, boring, very routine. So I need somebody that's okay with that.
Right.
Like I want to live on the farm, have animals, build a pond in the back to fish in, have 4-wheelers for the kids. Like I'm on that type. Like I don't want to live, in a
So you just
around a lot of people. Like,
so
I'm trying
you
to get
basically
away.
think it's a lot of attention-seeking women,
Absolutely, and I'm an RBT,
materialistic,
and so, which is a registered behavioral tech. So I know all about attention-seeking behavior,
right?
and so I see that all day, every day.
Right.
And again, listen, I'm somebody who posts my workouts every day. I show my body every day, right? So a lot of people might say, "Oh, you're seeking attention." But my thing is, I've been doing this my whole life.
Correct.
I've been looking like this my whole life.
Right.
This is a lifestyle for me. This ain't just, oh, I got myself in shape and now I'm showing it off. I've been doing this my whole life.
Got you.
I've been confident my whole life, feeling like I'm him and been him my whole life.
Right.
So this ain't for me to get attention. Like, I ain't never needed anything to get attention. I ain't never needed the money. I ain't never needed the cars, the clothes. Again, if you know me, I wear the same outfits every day, same shoes every day. I don't buy nothing for myself. So it's like, if you know me, you know.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But being an RBT, I see attention-seeking behavior all day, every day. And it's funny at times.
Right.
Because it's like, that ain't really you. But I get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has an image to uphold, and so I get it.
So what are you seeing these days?
Yeah, I want to say this one thing is there's no, as he was talking, I was reminded, there's no one specific way. You're going to find attraction in where you are at as a man. So if I feel like I'm strong and I feel like I'm conservative, I say my wife's going to stay at home. She doesn't have to work because I want to provide that. Right. So I can look, if I feel like I'm strong, I can look for something that's weak. I don't need you to be strong. So we can't, you see what I mean? Yeah. So it's depending on where that man is. I see some men, like I ran into a dude that I know from here at one of the at a store, and we were talking about women, what kind of women we want. He said, I want me a strong woman. I want a woman I can build with. I was like, I like weak women. Like, what is he? Like, I don't want none of that. Like,
I ain't gonna word it like that, but I was thinking about that because I used to be the same way, right? Being an entrepreneur, right? I wanted someone that I can build with. Yes. But now I'm like, I want somebody I can build for. Yes. Like, I don't need you to team up with me and build with me. Yes, because listen to my vision and be my eyes and my daily motivation to keep going to the vision. Yeah. But you sit back and let me take the stress of being strong, right? Because a lot of women, that's why they're independent, because it's stressful being broke, having kids, and having to do it all on your own. Right. So I get a lot of why women are independent, but I'm the type of dude, I was the type of dude that's like, no, I need a woman that's gonna get out here and grind with me, because I'm an entrepreneur, right? I gotta create revenue. I can't just go work 40 hours and know how much I'm gonna make every week like most people working 9 to 5. I gotta get out here and create. So you gotta be able to bring something to the table, not just your beauty. Right. And so, but now I'm at a point where I say, it's like, I'm not trying to build with somebody, I want to build for somebody. Right. And that's why I'm not dating, because I'm like, I need to run my bag up first, because then I can protect and provide in a real way, not the whole 50-50, which is cool. Like, if I meet a girl who's like, oh yeah, 50-50 cool with me, all right, bet, let's rock out. But I prefer 100-0, and your input is more of mental stimulation for me. Right. Because as long as you can tell me every day, rub my head, tell me it's gonna be okay, I got this, that give me enough juice to go get it the next day. Right. But if I'm out here getting it, and I can't go home and plug into you and recharge, right, you just extra stress on me.
Y'all don't get scared, not to say that anything would happen, but if something was to happen, you don't think that it's an asset that a woman has the ability
but you ain't got to express that, because that's going to be added stress on you. Right. Because this is how I look at it. If we both out going to work every day, 9 to 5, right? Especially if we got kids. I got kids. So we got going to work. We already dealing with our boss at work, right? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of stress on us dealing with our work, because most of us don't do what we love, right? We just do what we can for now. And then we get home, we got to feed the kids, get them ready for bed, school clothes, homework. We ain't had no me time. We don't get me time till we get into bed 9:30, 10 o'clock. Now it's just, and we sleep. Right. We ain't had no me time. We ain't had no real conversation. So for me, that hustle and bustle, both of us out grinding, I don't like that. Because when I come home, I need to recharge. Yeah. If you done been working all day, if you been working all day, you like, hey, get up off me. I'm tired too. Like, you turning over, you got an attitude because the girl at work done did something, or your boss done, and I'm coming about mine.
Right.
Like, you have a bad day at work and it's a man that did something to you, I'm going to go see him.
Right.
And you're going to be like, no, babe, you ruined my job. Don't tell me that.
Right.
Because I'm coming. But I don't even want that for you. Like, you got a little part-time, 20 hours a week, cool. A little stay-at-home job, 20 hours a week, cool. But that going working 40, 50, 60 hours a week because you trying to grind and get it like me, and then we both come home, we too tired for each other, we only got time for the kids. I don't like
so
that.
a bag from a woman it really don't matter.
It never mattered to a man. It shouldn't. Because I don't want nothing from you. I don't want you to.
Because you know there's some men out there right now who don't mind asking women for anything. It's wild.
See, now you talking about those.
No, I'm just saying.
But you also that flows into pride. Because I remember one time I was at a church with a lady that was she was fairly well off, but I'm like, I don't want no money from a woman and blah, 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 and all this different type of stuff. And she actually kind of rebuked me and taught me about like the Proverbs 31 woman. Because the Proverbs 31 woman was a woman that actually was a stay-at-home woman. Yeah. She created things with her hand, took that stuff off to the market, sold it for a profit, and bought property.
Right.
So she's not just sitting home twiddling her thumbs, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, I kind of got to humble myself because if God does place somebody in my life with certain skills, it's okay to accept things from her. As long as you're saying, but I want to be able to provide for the foundation of the home. I'm still doing my job. It would just be foolish and proud to be like, well, I can't take nothing from a woman. You understand? Right. She still don't got to pay the bills, but she can be invested in the family. Maybe she's buying properties.
Yeah.
Right.
She's adding to the overall. Now it's not going to bills. She can just do nothing but add money to the wealth of the family. So you got to kind of check yourself on that pride, because you can have the right way.
Right.
The right way, but it is the heart, the spirit ain't right behind it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Now, what if a woman comes with all those things, great, helpful, whatever it is, and me and Ryan we've had this conversation a lot, but she's not as attractive, but she has everything else.
It won't even get that far with me.
Yeah, I remember one time. It
starts with attraction.
I remember one time. How do I word this?
And what is attractive? Like, because I know
you know what it is.
Cute is enough for me.
Hot.
Like,
you ain't gotta, cute.
Cute is enough for me. You ain't gotta be. I did say a boring baddie, but that's just being extra. I like how he put it. But you ain't gotta be a 10. You ain't gotta be a 9. You ain't gotta be an 8. A 6, 7 for me.
That's it.
And everything.
I've been saying the same thing.
I'm cool.
You marry 6.
So what is a 6, 7?
A 6, 7.
That's what I was trying to teach you.
It depends on what your preference is, right? It depends on what your preference. Every man is different. Every man don't like the same type of woman,
right?
Like, it may be on Instagram when you scrolling, like, you know what a baddie is on Instagram, but that ain't realistic.
So what's realistic?
A 6 or a 7.
But what does that look like?
The average woman.
Yeah, for me, I believe most women you see walk around, they're pretty. Most of them are 6s. Some of them, in my opinion. Most of them are 6s, the pretty ones. They're 6s. Some of them are 7s. They're really pretty. And you very rarely see an 8.
Your scale is...
On my scale,
okay, let's talk about your scale. Because your scale includes...
The scale!
The celebrity women of the world that we see on the daily that come perfect. We see them and they're perfect.
Yep.
I'm just talking about the average working woman. Go to work, maybe hit the little gym afterwards. Kids stressing out a little bit. That's, you got to lower that scale. Like, because you said before this, nobody is a 10 to you.
No one's a 10.
That don't make, then why the scale go up to 10?
But that's what I'm saying. A 10 is perfect.
It's not perfect.
This is what it is.
It's close to perfect.
Now, let me watch this. Watch this. You know how you get A, B, C, D, F in your grades? All right. But you can get 100. You can still get an A. You can get 100, but I've never seen anybody that's just perfect. So it's not a scale.
Yeah, but a 90 is still an A.
You know how there's a 10, right? Like if you do like a gymnastics or a flips or a swimming or whatever, you get a 10. It's not like that. You see what I'm saying? It's like I've never seen anybody perfect. You know what I mean?
So you'd be like, oh, that's a 9.7. She's a
whoa,
9.
Whoa, hold on.
You one of them.
Hold on.
You can't just say she's a 10.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
If you see a 9, it ain't no. She's flat out bad, right?
So you never seen a 10?
Heck no. Nah. The only way
Are you married?
I'm not married.
Oh man.
But what I said though, you married. I've been saying this for years. You marry 6s and 7s. You can marry a 5 if you want to. but you're not gonna be. I don't think you're gonna be happy.
Don't look at me when you say that.
I mean, you might be happy. You say you don't like no 5s, huh?
Oh, man.
That's what I'm saying. So,
but it's all about preference, though. Your preference your 10 might not be a 10 to me. But to say you ain't never seen a 10 or you don't never rate a woman a 10, that's crazy.
Yeah, I ain't never seen a 10. And that's okay. You don't gotta be a 10.
So okay, who's a 9? Don't name a celebrity like
But
name.
you know what?
Not like
but here's the thing.
I'm saying not like a Beyonce or one of them. Give me before this I said Megan Good's a 10. You was like, nah.
She like an 8.8.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Them points.
Yeah.
See, the 8 or 9, bro. 8.8. When you round up in math, that's a 9.
Okay,
so just say 9.
No, but she an 8. I just want to make it.
So who's a 10?
Ain't no 10s.
But he's saying it's not specific, but it is specific. Like, I think ideally, and this is only because of the previous conversation, because he can get real specific, like 130 fit.
Yeah, give me that. So give me your 10. Wait, you did say something about height, but I'm like, no man is including height on this scale. Unless you look for a real model.
Yeah, if you're talking about models,
that's ain't no model judges. We average.
Who I would say is like the baddest woman on the planet. I mean, outside of like supermodels, you know what I mean?
I don't even know no supermodels.
It's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, but like, I mean, I would say like probably at one point in time the most gorgeous woman was like an Adriana Lima. But I mean, I would say honestly, man, she's a Victoria's Secret model from Brazil. But she's considered one of the most gorgeous people. Now, I would say honestly, man.
For you, because you have a more realistic, I think.
Maybe nah. Listen, let it speak her too. Let it speak her too. See, relatable. You see? Talk to me.
No, it's not terrible, but just you have just a more realistic and this is the only reason why I say this is because we've had plenty of conversations, and I want my friend to get married so bad, but I'm just like, it's no way because you have. Not a moving target, you have like very high expectations. And it's nothing wrong with having those expectations, but I just feel like that's very hard to find. But you, on the other hand, I think that only because if I had to go off of social media and maybe some people in the past, like I would consider those beautiful girls, like those 8s. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they're everyday girls. Mm-hmm. I don't know where he's gonna find.
For real, but I said I you want a 6. Okay, take our friend. Take our friend, right? Then I said it was a 7. Then I said it was a 7.
Who I said was an 8, 9.
Okay, that's marriage material. You can marry that.
Okay, but
what do you?
I think your scale is still broken. Calling her a 7.
Man,
a 6. What did you call her?
7.
Even a 7.
6.8. 6.9.
Don't do them points,
An adjustable 7. How about that?
See, now you back to Kevin Samuel. And look, you been studying. And look, I've been studying too. You feel me?
No, I know. Honestly,
but you got it. She's compared to Bradenton, she's an 8.
I can't give you Bradenton.
What would she be missing physically wise?
Nothing.
So how she ain't 8 or 9?
But I'm just saying, like, it's like if you have an opinion, it's not necessarily that you're missing something as much as there are certain things that are even more, right? More.
We're just talking about physical.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's say you got beautiful eyes, right? Mm-hmm. So, man, people say, "Oh, this person got beautiful eyes," and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But then you might see somebody that has even more beautiful eyes. It ain't this person missing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
That many women. You picky.
I'm not picky at all.
I thought I was picky. But
I'm not picky. I'm easy to please. You cap. At least I'm serious.
No, I'm easy to please.
If I'm picky about anything, like it ain't. I want a pretty woman. I guarantee you, if we were to sit down and look at the same women, we both like the same women. I can almost guarantee that. I can almost guarantee that we both say they're pretty. Now, what the number is, that's neither here nor there. Are they marriage material or they not? Well, you probably agree. I get more picky on like more of the morality and the character.
Right.
So that's when I'm more.
So you would marry the girl we talking about.
Yep.
She would be marriage material.
Yep.
Okay.
Which leads to
she's still a 9. That's what you talking about.
All over.
Y'all keep staying on business about.
I mean, I think you might need to make a phone call later. I mean,
listen. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm a big flirt, but I leave it at that. Because again, if I can't take care of you and court you the way I want to, the way you want to be,
yeah,
I'm gonna just flirt and just leave it at that.
I feel
Like
you.
when I see you, I'm gonna act like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? We gonna flirt, we gonna have a good night, but
Mhm.
after I leave, I can't do nothing for you, baby.
Right.
Not in this season, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
For you.
And
Ain't nothing wrong
I ain't
with
gonna
that.
mess up
Ain't
your
nothing
life.
wrong with that.
Yeah. 'Cause
Now we're gonna kind of round it out with this one because we brought this up, but with y'all know what y'all want physically, and then you said beyond that. So what type of morals and principles do you guys see in women today? And like I don't want to say if there's a scale, but like how important is that? But first, like where do you see that? Like do you even feel like women have standards, morals, principles, or you just think they just out here?
I'm gonna speak from my experience, and I'm gonna take accountability because these are women I chose. Right? I don't think women really care more so about morals and principles as much as men do.
Really?
I think it's more so like,
Mm.
listen, don't kill me for this. But I think women are more selfish with everything they do, right? What they do is for them. Like as a man, I look at legacy, right? Everything I do is for my last name, for my kids, for my woman. Women kind of do what they do for them. So for me, I want you to adapt my morals and principles. If you my woman, I want you to adapt my morals and principles.
Right.
Because I want you to be able, like, if we out, right? Let's say I take you to a business meeting. I work for this big corporation, and we go to this business meeting. I need you to be sophisticated, and I also need you to be my eyes. I need you to be able, like, when I go shake a dude's hand, I walk away from him. I need you to watch him and see how he look at me, and come tell me, oh, this dude was talking about you, or this dude looked at you weird, or he fake. I need you to have very good discernment. You need to be able to be my eyes when I'm not looking, when you with me, right? I need you to look pretty, be sophisticated, don't overtalk. I ain't saying I want you to be a statue and stand there, but I need you to be my eyes. I need you to be my brain for me because again, it's such competition when men step out the house every day, right? Like back in the day, we had to go to war, right? You got to go outside, you got to kill that animal, bring it back. That's a lot of stuff that goes on mentally, right? The physical part for us is easy. We can do the labor, but it's the doing it every day.
Over and over, yeah.
Every day. Every day. Knowing what we up against every day. So I need you to be my plug, my outlet. So when I come home, I can plug into you. You can give me words of encouragement and let me know, hey, babe, you got what it takes. Tomorrow's a new day.
Okay. Now that's what
Go
you're
back out there and get it.
Now that's what you're looking for or what's idea. But what is it that besides the selfishness, like what is it that you think what do you think it is now with women? Like what is the biggest besides selfishness? Like in their morals.
And honestly, I don't really see nothing wrong with being selfish as a woman.
Right.
Like, because
so
you
that's
have to,
the biggest thing that you
right? Because you already got to bear
women being
kids,
selfish.
and you go 9 times 10 spend the most time with the kids, and that can be a headache. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I love my kids to death, but I couldn't imagine not being a father and my kids being with their mom 100% of the time.
Right.
Like how much stress that would put on that.
Right.
Because my 2-3 days here, I'd be like, boy. But that's why men are supposed to provide structure. Because there's time to play, there's a time to do this, there's a time to be serious, all that. So I apply that with my boys, but I know when they with mom, they go crazy. They run wild and they drive her crazy. And I know because I get the phone calls. I know because FaceTime every morning, every night, I can hear the stress in my voice when she's yelling at them.
Right.
I know they done been bad and put her through some stuff. So I don't mind her being selfish, but when it's time to lock in and recharge me, that's what I want in a wife.
Right.
To be my charge station. And not just that, but that's the biggest thing for me to have a wife because again, I go through so much stuff mentally, and not just being a man, being a black man, right? And I've been through so much in my life, like, and then my pop's been through so much, and we've had so many similarities of things that we both went through. And now that I don't have him, I kind of need you to take that space as my therapist, not as in I'm going to be 100% vulnerable and tell you everything I'm going through, but you need to see it. And when you see it, you don't even need to say nothing.
Just recognize it.
Recognize it. Come hug on me, rub on my head, tell me it's going to be okay. That's it.
Right.
Now I'm ready to get back to it the next day. But women like to question you 1,000 times, ask you a million questions, like, what's wrong? What can I do? And especially like men, I feel like we want our woman to know us, right? If we done been together 6 months, you should know everything about me, routine, this and that. I don't need you to ask me every time you go grocery shopping, baby, do you need anything? What do you want? Do you need like just get me what you know I like.
Right.
Because I'm super routine. I like what I
Discipline.
like.
Same
You know what I'm
kind of
saying?
outfit.
So it's easy. That's why I'm saying I'm easy to please.
Right.
Because I'm super minimal. Like
Right.
I don't need a lot. It don't take a lot to make me happy. Just this is what I like. This is what I eat. I work out every day. Call my kids every morning, every night. Work. That's it. That's my life. I like to go fishing, stuff like that. But outside of that, I'm super boring.
Gotcha.
So I just like my woman to know instead of asking me a million questions. But also, I gotta vocalize her what my expectations of her is. Also, that's what I feel like I didn't always do in the past. I kind of just like, you should know what I like. You should know what I like without ever telling her. Just expecting her to watch me. Instructions.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah,
piggyback off that because it is instructions, but I know where you about to go, and I want you to take it there.
Well, how about this? I would say this. Because you
But what
said,
are you seeing?
what am I seeing? Okay,
Yes.
in our culture, and I said this earlier, maybe like 2 to 3% of women marry as virgins. Okay, on their wedding night. Which is a stark decline from the 60, 80, 70, as we go back. And the other thing we see is obviously we talk about a rise in feminism. There's a decrease in respect for men. There's a decrease in the value of babies, as we see with all the abortions, and that's not judgment for people that have gotten them, but obviously we know it's wrong. There's a decrease in the value in believing that you should be at home with your children. There's a decrease in the importance of supporting your man and being the bat or being the Robin to his Batman,
right?
Being the Scottie Pippen to his. You see what I mean? So
right.
Everybody wants to be the star of the show. We can't both be Michael Jordan.
Correct.
There has to. I mean, so that's what we're seeing. We're seeing, promiscuity. You say you don't mind a woman being selfish. I don't agree, but I think I know why. Because I think you're saying they have to make these decisions because I think they have to prioritize themselves because they have to get good men to put themselves in a good position. But it's gone past that now to where it's my happiness is more important than keeping a marriage together and keeping staying with my children. I'm not saying a woman should take a bunch of foolishness, but if you just not I don't like how he treats me. I'm not happy that foolishness. You know what I mean?
Just the fleeting thing.
Exactly. Yeah. But so that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing in the culture. It's the love of money. And some of these things go for men too. Men aren't perfect. We obviously know it's a bunch of nonsense that goes on. But so that's what we're seeing.
It's getting worse by the minute.
Yeah, it's going to continue to get worse. But so that's what we're seeing. The flip flop and the dating nonstop. It's just a mess. But so yeah, in that though, I like a woman like who's like I said, meek, gentle, quiet, submissive. She honors a man. She's soft spoken. She doesn't have to be the star of the show.
Right.
Humble. Yeah, all of those things. But yeah.
That's it. Whew. Well, that was a lot, you guys. And women, I just kind of sat here and let the guys have a conversation. I didn't really say too much because I wanted to hear what they had to say without just having a nagging woman telling them what to do and what to say. But we will have a follow-up of, our perspective on what's going on these days. But these men did an excellent job of just kind of giving us a little insight of what's going on and how they see things from their personal experiences and possibly those of other men experiences. So I would like to hear your comments, feedback, and suggestions, and then hopefully we'll have a follow-up with these guys and maybe some girls too on a good panel and keep it more structured. So it's not going everywhere. I kind of let them have a ball today, y'all, but to kind of see where it goes. So I appreciate you guys tuning in to see what's going on these days. All right, bye.